The topic of discussion is Introductory Macroeconomics. So, what do we mean by macroeconomics? It is that branch of economics which studies the economic activities of an economy as a whole. So, therefore, in macroeconomics, the economic activities like economic issues are studied for all the sectors together. The term macro is derived from a Latin word macros, which means large. What are the areas in which macroeconomics is used? Let's explore them one by one. First is the theory of national income. Macroeconomics helps in the accounting process of national income, or in simple words, in measuring national income, which helps in formulating the policies. Then we have the theory of employment. Various macroeconomic theories help in determining the employment levels in an economy. Macroeconomics helps determine the equilibrium level of money to be circulating in an economy. This helps the economies to further regulate the inflation and unemployment levels. The amount of inflation or general price level to exist in the nation can be determined with the help of macroeconomics. It helps in stabilizing the economy. Economic growth in terms of per capita income can be studied with the help of macroeconomics. Lastly, we have the theory of international trade. The necessary tariffs to be imposed or the direction of trade to help improve our terms of trade and balance of trade accounts can be studied with the help of macroeconomics. With every part of economics comes certain schools of thought. The oldest school of thought in case of macroeconomics is classicals. The main proponents of this school were Mill, Adam Smith, Malthus, Ricardo, Pigou, etc. They believed in a free economy with no government interference, that is, they believed in a laissez-faire economy. Under this school of thought, prices were to be determined by free market forces of demand and supply. As a result, the resources would be fully and optimally used. Therefore, there won't be any scope of unemployment and disequilibrium in the economy. By depending on the market forces, the school of thought believed that following such policy would offer maximum employment and therefore highest level of income. But after the Great Depression in the late 1920s, a new school of thought developed, which is commonly known as the Keynesian school. This school of thought was majorly dominated by the views of Lord John Maynard Keynes. He believed that everything cannot be left on the market forces. Some amount of government interference is necessary. Without government interference, unemployment would exist in the economy. So, after studying the basic meaning of macroeconomics, it's important to distinguish it with microeconomics. Where microeconomics deals with the individual level of study, macroeconomics studies the economy as a whole. On the basis of aggregation, micro study is limited, that is, it doesn't consider all the sectors together. On the other hand, macro considers more sectors at the same time as compared to microeconomics. The central issue in case of microeconomics is the allocation of resources, and for macroeconomics is to determine the national output. Lastly, the microeconomics considers partial equilibrium analysis and macroeconomics studies general equilibrium analysis. No doubt micro and macroeconomics are different from each other, but they are also interdependent as well. So while studying microeconomics, we consider the relationships between the macro variables and keep them constant. In case of macroeconomics, we study the aggregation of individual variables, which is studied under microeconomics. So we hope the chapter was clear to you. If you have any more questions, feel free to contact us. You may visit our website www.economicsharbor.com or email us at admin@economicsharbor.com. Thank you and take care.